anyway, had lucky enough to have a lot of students like Teresa, and enjoying life.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. We're glad you're here. I'm going to let Teresa do the talking since she's on that end so you can hear us better. And Teresa, it's all you.
Beautiful. So, Nancy and I have been working together for 13 years. I love her tremendously, and her guidance in my life, there's no substitute. There's so much of who I am today because of the gifts that she has given me and the unyielding love that she has poured into me from the beginning of our journey together. So, with tonight is about there's a couple questions that I've received on other podcasts or certain subjects that I felt would be great if they came from Nancy or her explanations, her teachings. I could ask her the questions that I've been asked lately, and she could share some of her teachings and what she knows to the people who are listening.
No, that'd be great. Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, Nancy. So the first question is, I've had people ask me, and this is kind of like a two-part question, but it's really asking the same thing. How do I begin my spiritual path? Or how do I get into my truth? Like, what is alignment and how do I get there?
Well, alignment is to align with universal law, and it's to have a consciousness and understanding and being able to live it. And when we don't, we're out of alignment. But the first question was, did you ask how to get started?
How do I begin my spiritual path?
Well, actually, most of, anything with enlightenment and ascension is not so much about becoming something and moving into something as it is getting rid of stuff. So one way to start is to start to understand what is valuable to you and what isn't. And it's actually, it's about letting go of things that were taught and learned that no longer meet that person's understanding and their consciousness and their needs. So it's pretty easy to get started. Meditation, breathing, meditation, and focus, learning, paying attention, being alert, being aware, listening, having a teacher. Teachers only, the biggest thing with a teacher, like myself, and with your relationship with me, is just to quicken something. So some teacher can help quicken the process because they have knowledge that will put them in the right direction. It's about self. It's about getting to know self, understanding self. It's about understanding what is allowing me to be happy, because happy and being aware and happy and living a life that is fulfilling is what we're meant to do. And it's right inside of us. So how do we start? We start by going inside, becoming aware.
Anybody have any questions for Nancy with what she said so far?
I will flash them as they come up for you.
Okay, great. All right. So the next question is, there seems to be a heightened perspective on, well, let me phrase that. There's an emphasis now on psychic energy. It seems to be a more spiritual time. Can you explain why it's become a more spiritual time to us?
Well, I believe that we all have powers. We have intuition and we have the ability. Some have just developed it and have used it in a very positive way. Some have used it in a negative way, but we all have hunches. I think that intuition is something that the energy is higher now, and we're in a different age. We're in the Aquarian age of light. So more and more people are becoming aware, and more people are having those inner feelings and that understanding or seeing or hearing or feeling or touching, the different aspects of the psychic phenomena. And I think it's important because we're moving, so much of our life now is in the fourth dimension. in the astral plane. So it's only natural that people will start paying attention and wanting to know more, and wanting to sort of harvest that ability that they're starting to have. And it's learning to trust our intuition, learning to understand that we have many, many gifts that show us a lot of things that we need to know and understand. And I think the interest in the psyche has always been there, but it's more acceptable now because more people are doing it and more people have it happening. And they may not understand how, they may not trust it because, you know, they were told or shown that, you know, it's something that's outside of us, and it's not. It's going to be natural. I think people are going to have powers, and they're going to be natural powers.
I agree with you. Obviously, I've been schooled by you, so I understand what you're saying.
You're always, you know, I always taught free thinking. So.
Yes. So the next question is, sometimes, and this was a question I pulled from one of the people who asked me, sometimes it feels like I have multiple voices in my mind, and which one is the one that I listen to?
You might be smart not to listen to any of them.
Okay.
There's a chatter. There's a difference. There's a chatter that goes on inside people's minds, and it's like a chatter, and it's negative, and it's not something. It's not that person. There's a lot of people teaching, you know, how to let go of that chatter right now. And the chatter is something that it's not true. I mean, it leads us, it goes in circles. It makes us anxious, and it doesn't give us the truth and true answers. I guess the voice that is positive will be from the heart. The heart has its own language, and there's something that comes from our heart. If there's a knowledge or a voice or a knowing or an experience that comes from the heart, and when it comes from that heart, it's usually pretty accurate, if not very accurate. But the chatter sometimes can lead people astray. The way we think, you know, it's a combination of being having it's called the matrix, or some people call it all different names, you know, the illusion, whatever, and it's not valid. It just takes you around in circles. The voice that you want to hear is something that helps you get to the solution, not keep going around and around and around about the problem, but getting involved in the solution, having an idea of how to solve whatever it is that we want to do. So I believed very strongly in the voice that brings me into solution and helps me get where I want to go, and helps me be a kinder, loving, more caring person. It helps me be enjoying my life, which is what my purpose is to enjoy. And that voice and having that preparation, it will be positive, and it'll be a unity where it's a win-win for everybody. And that voice that does that will also lead me to what I need to understand. But the chatter just takes me around in a circle.
So is it a level of consciousness that one remembers or enters into that allows them to be able to tell the difference between the chatter and the heart voice?
Well, dimensions are about consciousness. In my experience, are awareness and consciousness. And the consciousness, you can walk to a park, or you can walk to your front door, and you can understand why you're walking to the front door, or you just walk to the front door blindly. You're just walking, you're just doing it, and you're not in any kind of mindset other than you're sort of like a zombie kind of, living. And consciousness is understanding, and we need to be conscious. We need to know ourselves, and we need to understand what we're doing and how to get where we need to go. And again, there's so many different, the lower fourth dimension has that chatter that I was talking about in the negative energy. And the middle fourth is the AI and the artificial intelligence. And it can be positive or negative, but it depends on how it's been programmed. But it doesn't have heart. Then you have the high fourth dimension, which most people pray to the prayers at. And it's where higher beings help me get out of my box of not knowing, not understanding, and not being aware.
Okay.
The lower dimensions, like first dimension, the first dimension is separation, and you're seeing so much of it right now. So many people with different ideas and separateness, and being angry if someone doesn't think the way they do, or searching for, if we are all one, but we don't know it in the first dimension. And then the second one are flatliners, where they can't see, they don't see consciousness, they don't understand it, they have to rely on beliefs and what they've been told and what their own experience was, but it's an illusion, it's false, and it brings in fear. Anytime you have fear, you know you've been in separation. Anytime you're in separation, you're automatically going to go in fear. So those are uncomfortable experiences, and we are really not meant to have those. They can teach us what we don't want. They can teach us what we don't need in this age. The biggest difference for a lot of people to understand, I believe, is that we're in the Aquarian age now. We're out of the Pisces age. And the Pisces age was a lot of suffering, and the Aquarian age is light. And we have a lot more opportunity to understand, to be given the answers, to help us, miracles. I just think this age is going to be, even no matter what we're seeing now, the age itself is going to bring us into a better place.
I have a question for her.
Okay.
So I see things. I know things. My dreams are prophetic. They always come true. I know things I shouldn't know. I see images that does not make sense. I do things with Teresa and other people that are affiliated with our channel. What do you call myself?
Did you hear what Grizzly said?
No, I didn't. Could you tell me?
Sure, yeah. He said, I see things, I know things. I have very vivid prophetic dreams that always come true. What do I call myself?
That's, Chrissy, that's a really, I can feel that about you anyway, but that's a very good question, because I was known as a high school teacher. I was Nancy, the high school teacher. Then I was Nancy, the hypnotist. Then I was Nancy, the spiritualist. Then I was Nancy, the Buddha. And I was Nancy, that, and all kinds of things. Okay, and now I realize that I wasn't Nancy, the teacher, the high school teacher. And I'm going back to answer your question in sort of a different way. But I wasn't Nancy, the high school teacher, which is what people knew me for. I was Nancy teaching high school. I wasn't Nancy the hypnotist. I was Nancy using the tool of hypnosis. I wasn't Nancy. So who are we? We're spirit, and we are now moving into almost amazing. We come from a very high level of understanding. We come from the Christ energy, and we're coming back. I guess you would call it going home in a way. Who are you? You are a gifted person, and right now you're choosing to do whatever it is that you're doing, like the readings and the broadcast and so on. That's not who you are. It's what you're doing. Who you are is much greater than even that.
Well, for example, and relay this to her, I was asked the other night, who are you? What are you? And how do you know that? And Teresa, you got that same question on TikTok, if you remember.
So he was asking, the other night, him and I were on a TikTok, and we were both asked the same question. Who are you? What are you? How do you know the things that you know when you're giving readings? How could you be so accurate but have never met me? How could you know things about me?
Well, the reason that, I don't know, people do readings. Not everyone does the same thing exactly the same way. But for me, I'm smart enough to go to the high self of that person and find out. And who are we? We are a group of people that came from the high. Who are we? We are 144,000 masters that came to help get the human race through this time period. And who are we? We are.
Uh-oh. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Spirit isn't working. So, I don't know. I mean, I get that question asked. They'll be back. But I get that question asked, and I don't know how to answer that. I mean, what do you tell somebody, that they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and they're telling you something that's not true when you know it's not true, and they're asking you for something? High energy, right? I don't know. Somebody asked me, what do you call yourself? And I was like, I don't know. Person that has abilities to see things that sometimes I don't want to see.
Now we're here to help them get out of this matrix. Who are you? You're outside the matrix.
So the computer froze a little bit, but we were on. I don't know if you heard everything, Grizzly.
No, I start talking. Everybody's like, right there at the moment. You get
So who are we? We are part of the 144,000 masters who have come in to elevate the consciousness and the human race at this time. Who are we? Are teachers who have come in to be able to reach the human race that are in the matrix and help to pull them out of the matrix, because we are not living in the matrix. So the information that we are contacting or that we know or can easily access, it's outside of the matrix. So we are teaching the human race to be outside of the matrix that they're used to believing is all that there is.
Well, you have the title psychics, psychic mediums, mediumship, tarot readers, spiritual advisors. I never said I was any of that stuff. I never proclaimed to be. I never put a title on me, and I don't think it ever will be. And that's my choosing. So it was just interesting how to answer it.
He never will be. I can't hear him.
Sure. So he says, I've never called myself a psychic. I've never referred to myself as a psychic, but I know things, and I can.
Psychic, medium, clairvoyant. I don't call myself anything.
The reason, Grizzly, I think, I'm just saying a Nancyism, but the reason that I believe you are very accurate in what you're saying on that is that's what I said before. I'm not these things. What I am is using using my gifts. So the gifts are something that you have. Your reason you're accurate is because you're going to an accurate source within yourself to be able to answer, or you're going to an accurate source in someone else and getting the information that might help them quicken their whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. And who are you is that you're a spirit from a very high level, and the reason you're here is, again, it's sort of like what Teresa said too, and that you are here because we are here to demonstrate the truth and the real, because the Pisces age was a false age. It was a suffering age and a false age, and everything was backwards. Everything that was one way, it was changed and altered to a backwards place. So we're here to sort of straighten that out.
What offends me the most and why I don't like doing this, and I'll be public about it, and is because I can look at somebody and be like, you're not telling me the truth. And it's like, why do I have to read somebody to see if they're telling me the truth or not? So I will ask certain probing questions to let them know that I know what they are getting ready to tell me is not true, and they're not telling me the truth. And you're making me ask questions to get you to tell me the truth that affects me. I don't like that. You see where I'm going with that?
I didn't quite. I heard part of it and I couldn't understand. For some reason, I wish I could understand you better.
So he said, he knows right away when someone is telling him the truth or not, and he said that it upsets him because it feels like it affects his vibration. Like, why should he know if they're telling the truth or not, and why should he be guided to get the truth out of them?
Or well, I don't know that he's pulling the truth out of him. He may be encouraging it, but it's one. We all came, and we're all from different planets, and we're all with different jobs to do, so to speak. We have different MOs. So he may be from the higher level of a group of people who are very, very intelligent, know a lot of things, a lot of things, automatically can decipher things very quickly. Well, that's my guess, is that's exactly where it came from. So by him, the test to this is judgment. It is not my job to judge anything, really. And the judgment is, I can tell someone's not, I was told this when some of stuff was happening, wars and stuff that came up recently, and it said, Nancy, you see a lot of things, you're going to see a lot of things others don't see yet, and you're going to know the consequences of it, but all we want you to do is bring light to it. Just observe it and bring light. So that, I think, is part of the thing. The test is not to judge it, just to be guided as to how you can help that person in whatever way, if you can. Any way, every way, whatever it takes. But sometimes it's just demonstrating. We're just demonstrating. We're not even
I shouldn't have to demonstrate. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth and always be honest.
So
I didn't hear that.
he said, he goes, I demonstrate it, but I don't know why I am called to participate in them demonstrating it. They should, they tell the truth from begin with. Don't lie.
He's not responsible for it. He's just.
Answer that question
I don't
right
think we're
now.
responsible for anybody.
That's what
anymore.
I'm talking
I don't
about.
think we're here to save anybody anymore. I think we did that in the Pisces age, because we helped get this human spirit and the human body, the human being, to a higher level so it can get through this photon belt, which we did in 212. But I don't think we're here to do any of that. I think we're here, again, to maybe clarify, demonstrate, be happy, enjoy ourselves, have fun.
One of the things Nancy taught me when I first started working with her is that there's 4 types of people, or 4 types of things that you want to look out for. Victims get victimized. So if you're in energy of I am a victim, you're going to attract that to yourself. A martyr is going to, just say, have a place where, but again, sacrifice is a part of being a martyr. And if you run out trying to save everybody all the time like a sacrifice, saviors get sacrificed.
Well, here's the deal. Number 1, I'm not a savior. Number 2, I don't judge. I never judged when I was in law enforcement. I don't judge doing shows. I don't judge guests. I don't judge readings. Ask her the question I sent you. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay. So he asks, what about relationships? That relationships, like he knows the truth in relationships when someone is
mine. Nobody
in
wants
yours?
to be with me. Yes, that's what I'm referring to. Why should I have to know and tell you what you're telling me not the truth? And you already know what I'm doing. That's why I stay single.
So he said, for example, in relationships, give me the full question, Grizzly. So in his relationships.
All right, so let's say that I'm seeing Susan right now, right? Susan wants to date me.
Okay.
She knows what I do. She knows my history. She knows my law enforcement. So why are you going to lie to me? So when we are in a conversation and in a relationship and you're talking to me and I'm like, no, that's not the truth. And that did not happen. You see what I'm saying? That's where I don't like having these so-called gifts. That's
I'm more interested in what he says when he says I don't like something. So what is it that he said he didn't like something?
So he said that, okay, so I'm going to tell you the full thing he said. So he said that when he's in a relationship with somebody or entering, like he says Susan and him get together, and Susan is not completely honest with him from the jump. Knowing his history, he's
hiding the truth or concealing.
Or hiding the truth or concealing the truth, knowing that he's gifted and that he has a past history in law enforcement. So what does he do with what he knows about the relationship when someone is lying?
I don't know that he has to do anything really, but because, I would say he needs to have a like mind and he needs to be with someone who's of like nature. In other
That makes
words,
sense.
and
That does. I agree
we're
with
all
that.
changing, so it doesn't mean someone can't change, and it doesn't mean that person won't catch up. But it's got to be very painful to see all the things that are going on, and know that it's happening, and then not know what to, and other people doing it and being stuck in the middle of it. So I would say, whoever he is, who are you, is the question he said he heard. I'd say the answer to that is very important, because who are you? Are you here from another? Are you here from another planet that is, or another universe that's going to go through this, and you're finding out you're asking and being in this because you're finding out different pieces of information that's going to help you in that opportunity to help your world. I mean, we can know whatever's the truth. We can think we know the truth, but we are in multiple universes simultaneously, going through all kinds of stuff. We quantum jump all the time, and so whatever your lesson is in that, I would say is something that is. I would say you're probably from somewhere else, and you're here as an observer, and you're here to help understand things that are going on and see through things, because seeing is really important. It's just hard to do it, because when you see, you want to fix it, and a lot of times we're not here to fix it anymore. We're here only to observe it and to bring light to it.
I'll just tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you talk to me, I will cut you in a heartbeat. I will slam the door and walk away from everything. Just give me a heads up.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
He said that he's like, I'm going to let you know now, ladies and gentlemen, that if you ever lie to me, I'm slamming the door.
Well, I mean, people do what they do. I mean, there are people that lie. There are people that lie a lot. There are people that lie all the time. There are people that don't know the truth. And so to one person who does, it may sound like a lie. It may be a lie. It may not be intentional.
But it's not about the lies in their lives. It's about the lies in my
obviously,
life.
to me, here on the side of truth, I think it's interesting.
So it's what did you say, Grizzly? It's not about them lying.
Not about their lies in their lives. If I'm with somebody, Susan, Amy, Kristen, and we're talking casual, we're trying to bond, and I'm like, shut the front door, you're so full of crap. And you didn't do that yesterday? You didn't talk to your ex 2 days ago and you're texting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that freaks them out.
It's not about what I am so sorry I can't hear him, but I can.
He said
what did he say?
He said to him that it is, it's not so much about the lying and how they perceive their lying. To him, it's more about.
Stop right there. Stop, Teresa. I don't care what they lie about in their lives.
He doesn't care what he lies about in their life.
In my circle of trust, that's where I have a problem.
In his circle of trust, he does not like when people lie to him, especially in the realm of relationships.
I think he's very bonded. I don't know what word exactly put there. I would say he's very, very bonded to the truth, to his everything he's talking about is truth, or wanting to be truth, or wanting to be in that gift of truth. So maybe he's one of the angels of truth. I can understand what he's saying. It's not about people do or don't. It's just, if you can hear and you can see and you can know, then you're here for a purpose with that. So
I can totally see Grizzly being an angel of truth.
Maybe you're a judge somewhere. I don't know. You may be a judge somewhere where your truth was, imperative.
Yeah, and and I mean, tell her this. I know how to tell if somebody's not being truthful, but when I can look, and when they're telling me that, oh no, that didn't happen, and I look right in their eyes, and I'm like pulling the images out, and I'm like, oh, shut the front door. That did happen. That's the problem. What
Are you
people do in
factoring
their own
in?
lives, it doesn't matter to me.
Are you factoring in there's parallel universes, and sometimes what's happening in one of the universes is the opposite in another?
No, because when I ask you about something that did occur that you did not tell me the truth on, why do I have to validate it by what I see and tell you I know it happened? And then the truth comes out.
Okay. Well, again, it's all about truth, and so I would say, who are you? You definitely have something to do with truth. So, which is that's a good thing. Is it hard when people are difficult, when other people may not have that same gift and that same focus? Yeah, I'm sure that it has its its problems, but you are who you are, and if truth is that, it's important that truth is for you. I'd have to say, who are you? You have something to do with truth.
Okay,
One of those things.
It's just interesting because, it's like when she talks, images pop, right? And I can validate stuff. But, it's to the point in the past, people will ask me, are you reading my mind, or ask me a question? And I tell them, your decision, because I already know.
Right. I feel like one thing.
Well, people, again, I used to hear this voice that told me, I'd be questioning something, and it would say, it's easy to see when you don't have a blindfold on.
That's true.
It's true.
And, so I would get used to, not everyone can see. Not everyone understands truth. And what one person thinks is true and their truth is not necessarily accurate. So it depends on what kind of truth we're looking for. It depends on, people think their perceptions are true, and to them it feels true. But to me, the whole guide to any of this is universal law. The universal law is what this whole journey was about, and the war of it was about being in alignment with the God characteristics and the universal law. If I'm in line with the universal law, I'm in line with unity. I'm in line with knowledge and knowing and truth and all kinds of good things. And not everybody's there yet.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
You're welcome. One thing that I've learned working with Nancy is to get loose, not loose in morals, but loose in perspective, to see that who we come in as, the character. Like I consider myself, I'm a character, I'm an avatar named Teresa, going through the mode of what it means to be Teresa, but my soul could be in another planet, could be from another place. What did I come in to understand? Because there's things that happened in the world, and I think this is a good example, because even a lot of people that we've spoken to in the past 2 weeks are talking about trauma, abuse, being lied to, different things that happened to them. And that ties into, this is happening for me, or this is happening to me. So when we look at things from a more loose perspective, especially like the kind of question, what did I come in to learn in this lifetime? And am I experiencing these things with people because what I'm learning is going to the Rolodex of my soul knowledge, rather than just the experience I'm having as a human being? Did I make a soul contract with this person that this stuff would happen? Or is there something in me that needs to be healed, and then I will stop attracting this type of person? So if I have a history full of, I met this one guy and I had a bad relationship, it didn't go so hot, and he doesn't love me so much and he lies, and then I get into the next one and the same thing, and the next one again, then I have to not just look at them and what their behavior is, I also have to look at myself and say, okay, well, what is up with me that would be attracting this type of person to my life? So what did you come in to learn? That's the one question. And if it happens to you repeatedly that you're attracting the same kind of people or situations, what is it going on in you that is the point of attraction to bring those people in, instead of somebody who has the traits and characteristics that you would rather have?
And tell her thank you for joining the show. And how do people find her and follow her?
Okay. Nancy, he wants to know, how do people find you to get a reading, to speak with you, talk to you?
Most people just call. I have a phone number and they call. And
Would you like to share it?
I've been working a long time, so I get, my name's out there a little bit. But anyway, my phone number, I can give you that.
Okay, so Nancy's phone number is? Okay, 702 28 5
9. I feel like I have an echo. 285-9069.
9069.
One more time.
702-285-9069. Yes.
Yes, 702-285 9069, Nancy? Yeah, 9069.
All right, thank you. Tell her thank you, and we'll get back to her. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let me clarify what I'm talking about. What you do in your life doesn't affect me. What we talk about doesn't affect me. What you tell me doesn't affect me. I don't judge anybody that I help spiritually on the side or during a show. That's your own life and your path that you chose. And some people do not like to know that you know things. But however, if you come to my circle, see, this is where I have a problem. You come to my circle and you want to get close to me, there's a process that I go through to validate who you are. And if you're not telling the truth, why should I have to go and use something or get images randomly to validate something, or I'm being told it's not the truth? Then I question what I've been told, and I'm comparing it to what I'm downloading. And then it's to the point to where it's like, what do you do? So that's what I did. I just say, forget everybody and go my own way. But you see now what I'm saying, though? I'm not affected about their decisions and what they're telling me. It's when somebody's trying to enter my world and be a part of my world. This is where you have whatever you have, and it's like, why do I want to know, right? Do I want to know? That's my point. There we go. There. I just want to make sure everybody understands where I was coming from. So yeah, it does get deep. I'm telling you. And Brown Barber's right. I will slam the door and I will not come back. That's right. Look out, creams. All right, now, next up, Kathleen. Are you still in the house? Kathleen, Michael, come on down. She's in here. She's talking.
So the fourth person that was like part of the four people is a liberator. And a liberator is in alignment with their truth, and they live it. And just by going out into the world and being in alignment with themselves, they hold a very high vibration, and that allows them to just really enjoy their life and to attract things that they want, feel good about how they're moving through the world. And so the moral of what she was teaching me, and I wasn't saying this about you or to you, I was just making it as a broad statement, was that there, with these four types of behaviors or four kind of experiences of the human experience, what she taught me is that the most important thing we can do is to be a liberator, which means we have to liberate ourselves. And also, like, as we liberate ourselves through the veil, through like the almost the process of thinning the veil, then we get into a place where, with self-awareness and alignment for what's valuable and important to us, we can get to we start going through our own process of ascension, and that process of ascension raises our vibration. And when we are in a higher vibration, we attract different things to our lives, different experiences, different types of people that are in alignment with our authenticity. And if we do see something that we don't like, we can say, well, why am I going through this experience? What about this is, what am I to pull away from this in a more positive light? So nobody likes to be lied to. Nobody likes to be hurt. Nobody likes to be taken advantage of, cheated on. Nobody wants to be abused. We're not really here for that. We're sovereign beings who are made out of love or who are love. And we're here to have a happy, joyful life. And some people are very good at being honest and no BS, and they're just straight to the point, and they know how to love, they know how to be real, they know how to be kind. And other people, like, why do hurt people hurt other people? Where does the hurt originate from? And that's a great question to ask, because if we have a big world full of 7-8 million people, and that you look at the percentage, maybe, or like, and that's kind of a black and white statement in itself, is there's so many people, there's multiple timelines, there's multiple energies, there's the human race, and then there's all these different races that come in from other planets that have all these different characteristics and ways of being. All this different energy is flying around all the time. And how do you decipher one moment to the next? Or how do you know how to navigate yourself in a relationship, in a job opportunity, in a way that you live your life? How do you know the right thing to say to somebody? And it's always about listening to that inner voice. And the way that we can get very clear on the inner voice is to cut away ourselves from that chatter that we're so predisposed to as people, and go to the, like Nancy said, you go to the solution, or you go to the eye of the storm rather than stand in the storm itself.
That's good. Kathleen, I'm going to leave Kathleen to you as you're honing in on her. So Low Twisted says, for audio listeners on iHeart, Spotify, and Google, and Apple, do we attract the negative energy? Yes, we can. That's why I'm so firm about birds of the feather flock together. You got to remove yourself from that inner circle of that negativity. So yes. All right, Kathleen, Michael, what do you got on that one?
Okay, let me tap in.
Yeah.
Kathleen, Michael. I'm trying to describe the energy that I'm like seeing and feeling right now. I feel like her life is in a very good place, where she has, like, the first image I was getting was like a bunch of repeating threes. So 3 is communication, how we interact with each other. I feel like she's looking for something like deeper to experience in life. Like, she has a good life quality, but then she's looking to, trying to find the words for this. Roof over the head, car in the driveway, has family, things are moving well. She has plenty of resources. She's happy with her life. But there's always like, we're always growing. We're always on the leading edge of progress. We're always looking for the next thing that we feel drawn to accomplish. Like, we never really, even if we want or think about having some kind of like humdrum mainstream life, if we do get it, eventually it does get boring, and you do look for the next thing. It feels like there's things that are work related, a transition with like a particular line of work that you're doing. And I also feel like traveling, looking to travel to new places, or looking into booking a trip somewhere. And then, are you going, or are you looking into going on a trip with your family?
Kathleen, if you can give us some feedback on that, I greatly appreciate it. Kathleen. So as she's typing, I drew a couple of cards, and I'm getting soul searching. So I'm questioning why I'm getting that, right? Amy says I like the IRS, which just blew my train of thought. But it's also talking about being alone. Why are we talking about being alone, about inner peace and inner guidance? So I do see some of the troublesome. She says that I just got back today. Kathleen, I see some of the troublesome that you've been through at a younger age, in some of the trauma. You need to kind of forgive some of the decisions you made, because even decisions you made could have been different. It wouldn't have changed the outcome. Do you understand where I am coming from on that? It's from Dominican Republic. Interesting. And if you can just give me confirmation on it.
When you were talking about like the letting things go. All of a sudden, like a picture of her mom like came up. So I feel like there was some hurt feelings or some kind of words in between. Either
She says, "I love being alone."
I see like some kind of like words were said that left hurt feelings there, or thinking like either you hurt yourself or the words she said hurt, where it's like you hurt yourself because you want to live up to something or something. You were trying to be some way for her that felt like you couldn't really like be that person, or she has these words for you. And I see like it's contoured how you have become in life, and you've done so much work to let it go. Like your life is a content one, but there's always stuff for us to release, and then there's always stuff for us to be on the leading edge on and continue to grow into. So with your mom coming up, it's saying, forgive yourself, forgive her, forgive whatever transpired between you two that left a bad taste in your mouth, so that you can expand beyond those words, because it's almost like those words have been walls that you've lived inside of. And even though you've done so much with your life, so much enjoyment has happened in your life, they're still almost like when you throw the bowling ball down and you have those guardrails. If you heal that, then those guardrails will fall away, and there'll be even more expansion, and that joy that you're looking for in your life of where do I go beyond contentment, that's what you'll find when that healing, when those gutter ball guards are removed.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yes, thank you. Thanks for letting us read you, Kathleen. It was a difficult childhood. I was going to let you explain it. Preachers, kids, mom hyper-religious, love to say Jesus. And I don't know why I had to say it that way, but you know what I'm talking about. But yes, I know. All right, Susan, are you in the chat still? Susan, are you still awake? Susan, give her a second to say hello.
Sure. Susan's going through something job related. That's the first thing that I start picking up on. Hi, Susan. Okay.
I know, Kathleen, you got a kick out of it. I saw you laughing.
Who? Me?
When I said Jesus, the way that
Yeah.
Susan says yes.
Okay, so all right, Susan, I believe I read for you the other night, and I was seeing those legal documents. Can you confirm? Because I see like papers. Yes, just retired. Okay, so you're transitioning into a new way of life with that retirement, but I feel almost like it's a mix between it's an emptiness. Like I feel some kind of sadness, something like weighing you down, or like ho hum, what do I do now? And like almost like you haven't really found something that you really, really love yet. And then the other side of that is that you're not an unhappy person. You're just looking for something that makes you feel alive. You probably heard me cursing. Did you see her?
Yeah. When she's got that questionable look and kind of like a smirk, it's funny. So.
Did you? She goes, yeah, it was just paperwork. Okay, so things are going to clear up and get better for you, is what I'm hearing. Right now, it's a mush. It's a mush of different vibrations, energies, feelings, but I feel like what you're going to do, and this is important because sometimes you have a propensity to kind of lock yourself away and you don't put yourself really out there. You have to keep putting yourself out there to find things that you enjoy, and people that you enjoy. I feel like you don't have a very big friend group or a lot of people around you who are like you. You're looking for something, you're looking for like a place of belonging or a larger group of people who understand you, people that make you feel good to be around. And what I feel like ultimately you're looking for is self-expression, is joy, is happiness, is enjoying different experiences in life. And I see that you too, where like we just read Kathleen and travel was there. I feel like, you know, you're at this point in your life where you're like, I want to travel, but I don't really know where to go. I want to go out, but I don't really know where to go. I want to experience life, but I don't really know what to do. I don't know where to go with. I don't know who to go with. Like, there just seems to be like one foot's on the gas and one is on the brake. But over the next couple months, I'd say go a little past the winter. The winter may continue to be all about kind of like up and down, where you're trying to figure out where to go, how to get there. But as you continue to always take positive steps forward, by spring, you're going to feel like a whole brand new person. You're just going to feel very like refreshed, alive, new, like you have more of a group by continuously putting yourself out there. And when you do put yourself out there for different people, it's important that you put yourself out there and try to just try new things that you have not necessarily done before. Be open-minded, but also that you explore yourself as you are exploring the external, meaning that you want to be able to have the space inside you to hold the happiness, but at the same time, go have the experiences. Because sometimes we can take ourselves anywhere. We can travel to whatever part of the country or the world. We can take ourselves out to whatever kind of experiences. But the reason why we're lonely or feel awkward when we're in them is because something is like upset in us. And until we resolve that hurt, we don't have the room for joy that allows us to be very free and liberated when we go and hang out with new people. And part of with you is the shyness. You know, you're shy, you're shy at first, you're a little awkward. And then when people get to know you or you open yourself up to people, then this whole more fun, different kind of quirky person comes out that has a sense of humor. And you're very smart and you're on the quiet side because you like peace. And so you're really just looking for your crowd of people and to kind of revamp yourself in life where you're going to. And it is a process. It is going to happen. But I see the future looks very bright for you if you continue to do the work that I had outlined for you, or the way of living that I outlined for you.
And Teresa, how does everybody find you, book you, and get a hold of you?
Okay, so my phone number is 631-759-1965. 631-759-1965.
Hold on.
Sorry.
The number was on 631
759 1965.
I was like, how come it's not typing in? It's the numbers lock. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure and check her out. Welcome to the family of the Outlaws. It's every Wednesday at 10 p.m. I have no idea what she's going to do, so we'll get it posted and everything. But it's nice to welcome you. I don't have my sound button, so there you go. There's the clap to the family. Welcome. So yes. But hopefully everybody enjoyed it. And thanks for tuning in. Sorry we had the problems in the beginning. But also, the reason why I was asking those questions to the guest is because Kathleen also needed to hear some of that along with other people. I just want to make sure I'm not a judge. I never judge people. So you're welcome, a little twisted. Hello, Kayla. So hopefully y'all tune in for tomorrow's show. And from coast to coast, around the world, everybody, take care. Godspeed. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.